Het-Heru, Assalamu alaikum, Namaste, Haru Nefer. This is Kasank Ma'ad Keparu with another live video for you. And in this video, I want to share with you a simple but powerful manifestation ritual. However, before I do that, I want you to hit the like button on this video. And if this is your first time to my channel, welcome. Subscribe to my channel for more videos of this nature. Also, share this video with family and friends because we want to get the revolution started and help people out there. So, also, don't forget, you can become a Patreon supporter for as little as $1, $5 a month, and you'll get more videos of this nature on performing manifestation rituals, divination, meditation, all of that good stuff. And they're basically structured as tutorials. So again, that's the Patreon. Become a supporter. Your support will be highly appreciated. And the money is also used to help me write ebooks, hire proofreader, editors, assistants to put out the information, the tools, most of which is free to the general public. Okay, so let's get into this, which is a very simple but powerful ritual. You know, I'm very much aware of the fact that behind the scenes of this fourth dimensional holographic experience, there are intelligences at work, and those intelligences can be to your benefit or to your detriment. You know what I mean? And it's often that I will experience what we call as synchronicity. And sometimes it can be very, very challenging because you'll see things that you think will align and help you, but then sometimes they can create little blockages or what appear to be blockages. The important thing is to remember that these synchronicities are a key to letting you know that you are shifting to a parallel reality. And when that happens, it's actually a good sign that things are moving in your direction. But what you have to remember is to be stoic, to be still, to be centered, because you don't want to have too much of an emotional reaction. And believe me, I've had those. I've had situations where synchronicities have happened and, you know, they have caused a lot of challenges. And I've gone like, why does this keep happening? And you can actually see it because it defies it defies the odds. You can say, well, what are the odds of this keep happening in this way? What is synchronicity? For those who don't know, Carl Jung coined it as a series of coincidences that are very pertinent to the matter at hand. And I'm not giving you his exact definition, but that's what it is. And you'll see synchronicities in the way of you may be talking to a friend, say, for example, about ordering Italian, and then an Italian food commercial will come on TV at that exact moment. That's an indication of synchronicity, all right? You may be talking with somebody about popcorn, and then another person walks by and offers you some popcorn. That is synchronicity. The goal is to attune your vibrational frequency so that these things happen to your favor. And of course, many people in like Atlantic City and in Las Vegas would love to have this synchronicity happen on a continual basis so they can get lucky at whatever games there are. It was blackjack, roulette. I don't play those games, but that would be interesting. Now, in Michael Talbot's book, The Holographic Universe, he does talk about those magi's, those individuals who are strong enough to where they can go to a place like Atlantic City or Vegas and play and win at those games like roulette. And he breaks it down in his book. You should check his book out. It's very, very interesting. But again, the goal is for your life to be full of synchronicities that align to your favor so that you walk through life and things just seem to fall into your lap. Sometimes we use the colloquial expression that he was born or she was born with a silver spoon in their mouth. So anyway, let me show you this very, very powerful technique that will help you to manifest whatever objective you want. And I use this technique. And you know what? I've got to get better at showing you guys more of this, because when I get into a pinch or I get into a situation, I'll work my magic. And then you know, after the ritual is done, I'll think to myself, maybe I should have kept some of that stuff to show my YouTube subscribers how to do it. And I always forget, because I do a lot of rituals and I do a lot of different types of things that you guys can benefit for. So I'm going to start doing more of these and probably put more on the Patreon. That's why you should become a Patreon supporter. I'll put the really good, the meaty stuff on Patreon, but I'll still give you guys some good stuff here. Hey D, Het-Heru, how you doing? So let us begin. Let's say you need an immediate goal. You need something to happen fairly quickly. Okay, I don't know. Just what's something like you got to pay a bill that's come up and you need some extra money. Okay, or you got a test coming up and it's real immediate. You can use this ritual to bring you really quick results. Okay, it's still involved. You know, there's nothing that's as I say in life, pain-free, but it's quicker than doing a full-blown ritual, okay? So you're gonna need some things. Let me see what you're gonna need. You're gonna need index cards. You're gonna need some herbs and some stones that relate to the objective. And if you go to, I don't have time to explain this, and I'll do this more on the Patreon. If you go to an occult store and you say, well, I'm trying to attract money, they will give you the proper stones that are helpful in attracting money, okay? And they also should have some herbs as well that relate to attracting money. The next thing you'll need is incense. And this is lucky incense to bring luck. And this is, this one here is money draw. This is a powder, all right? And this is another instance. It's High John the Conqueror, okay? And you need of course, you need a pen. And what else do you need? I think that's about it. Now, this is going to get a little scary, so hang with me here. It's going to get a little scary. Het-Heru, Mike, how's it going? Michael Scott in the house. All right. So we're all adults, and you know, as I said, nothing in life comes pain-free. So you're going to have to bleed a little bit for this. Okay. First thing you're going to do is you're going to take this and you're going to write down the objective. Let's say my objective is to get money, say, and you have to write it in the form of a story, like if you were writing a screenplay, you know. Kasank meets beautiful woman and falls in love. Beautiful woman this week. Make sure you designate time frame, because you need this immediately, right? Falls in love this week. I don't want this to happen, but I'm just using this example. This week. You can even get specific. You can say, Kasank is on his way to work, or Sheila is on her way to work and meets a man along the way who she falls in love with. Or if you have somebody in mind that you desire, you can write that down too. Or you can say things like, Mike discovers or comes into a windfall of money this week. And, you know, put, like, you can say this week, this month, you know, that type of thing. Okay, so you have it written down like here, right? And if you are versed in sigil magic, I would write the sigil on here. And if you don't know what a sigil is, you should research that on the internet. But a sigil could look anything like this. All right, you see these squiggly lines? That's like a sigil, okay? Again, research that. I did a video on sigils as well. But the best thing to use is a talisman. And a talisman, here's one that attracts money. And I've already used this. Now you see I have a red spot in the middle, and that's a candle. I was burning a candle on top of that, and it was anointed with oils. You don't have to be this elaborate. You can go with the index card, okay? Just do the index card, okay? Now, once you do this, here we go. You're going to get some oil. Go to a magical supply store. They will have oils for attracting money, attracting love. So what you want to do is you want to dab it a little bit on the actual index card, like so. And you want to dab a little bit on your nostril at the top here so you can smell it yourself, right? Now, the powder, which is money powder or whatever, and you put a little bit of this powder on. This is our ancient ancestors. Ooh, that's too much. Our ancient ancestors did this. Make sure you dab it on your face as well. You're gonna look funny. And then you put the powder on the index card where the oil was, okay? Great, wonderful. All right, what else is next? Let me just turn back to my magical, oh. I don't have it right here. I do have it right here, but I don't use it. But you need a quartz crystal. A quartz crystal is very, very important. Now, once you have this done, here's where it gets deep. You need to bleed. So I would get a pen or something that is disinfected, a knife, Make sure it's clean, and you need to cut yourself. And you're gonna need to bleed. And when you bleed, you're gonna need to anoint the index card with your blood, preferably around the sigil area. So put your blood around there, okay? Women, you can use menstrual blood, very powerful, okay? Once that is on there, the next thing you're gonna want to do is, which you can do, it's an option, is use your semen. From an ejaculation, use your semen and anoint this with your semen, okay? And the combination of the blood, the menstrual blood, or the semen makes it very powerful with the oil, okay? You follow me? All right. Now, once you have that, I need to, let me just do this, for example, because I should have brought one. This is my magical wand, and it has a quartz crystal here. And this crystal has already been charged. Now, we're going to hold on to this in the feather mat. Okay. Now, next thing we're going to want to do is, after we've written our objective, anointed it with oil, bled on it, put the semen on it, or the menstrual blood on it. You can as well, if you don't have any of those things, you say, Kasank, I'm afraid of cutting myself. I'm not going to put any menstrual blood or my blood or any semen on it. What do I do? You can close your eyes, visualize the objective, like you finding money, finding the woman of your dreams, or finding the man of your dreams. And once you do that, blow onto it. You go, because your breath has energy, and you're going to blow onto it. And it's going to help the oil. It's going to soak into the oil, and the oil is going to soak into the card. And that's going to cement the objective, okay? No one should touch this, by the way. Don't have anybody else touch this, okay? And as you can see, I have powder here, but that's not enough. You have to make sure your face and your hands are covered with powder, and the powder is on the index card. Now, once that is done, this should be damp or wet from the semen, the oil, or the menstrual blood, or your blood, okay? Once that is done, get your incense with some charcoal. Light the charcoal, and the incense should be the incense of the objective, like attracting money or attracting a lover. And again, go to your magical supply store. They should have it. If you don't know where one is in your location, please email me at kasank@gmail.com, and I'll give you a list of the ones that are really reputable and good that you can go to. Once you do that, you will then take a pinch of that and place it in the incense burner, and it's going to start. You see the flames coming up now. Turn the card face down. Now here it comes. There is, do you see it now? Okay, there is. Take the card and pass it through this. Pass it through it like so, so that the incense is absorbed into the oil, into the card. Now, same thing with you. Make sure that you're taking it all in, and it's being the incense is being absorbed into your pores of your skin, your face, your hands, and you should be able to, because your skin is an organism, it breathes. So wow, this is a powerful one. This thing is so powerful. I can feel it with my hands. So your skin now should have absorbed the energy of that incense, which is again to attract love or money. We're not done yet, folks. Now, once the card has absorbed that energy, you are going to take the stones, the magical stones that you purchased, place them on top of the card, okay? Illustrated, whoa, it's falling, Please, I can show you this. Right on top there, as so, okay? Now, the quartz crystal will go on top as well. Now, with that done, folks, that is it. That is it, okay? You are finished the ritual. Once you do that, this is a sacred space now. Place this somewhere in your bedroom, your living room, where it will not be disturbed. The next thing you're going to want to do, because you now have the powder and oil all over you, is to sit down and meditate for about 20 minutes on the objective, in the proximity of the index card with the stones and the quartz crystal on top. Meditate for 20 minutes. Do this on a daily basis until the objective comes to fruition. All right? Once the objective comes to fruition, you say duau, that's the Kemetic word for thank you. You can burn this, or you can bury it. You can fold up and bury it, okay? Now, here's the thing where magic gets a little tricky, because magic is a trial and error type of thing. Some magi's will prescribe that once you finish doing all of this and you put the quartz crystal on top and you do the meditation, that you take it and you burn it or you bury it right then and there and forget about it. That's good. That works great. But I prefer to leave it out and to meditate next to it on a daily basis until the objective is reached. The trick is, try this and find out which one works. Now, I build websites. I'm a consultant, a freelance consultant, that a lot of corporations hire me to come in and fix their problems with their websites. And one of the things we do, one thing I do when I hire people is what we call A and B testing. We find out which page on the site works best and has the biggest conversion rate. This is the type of A and B testing. You're going to find out if this approach works to sitting next to it and meditating, or directly meditating for a week, or directly after doing the first meditation, you burn it or bury it. I prefer to bury it. But either way can work. Bury it directly after the first meditation to see, test both out to see which one yields the best results. And that's up to you. Or, I got an idea. Or, we go to Thought, the Oracle of Tahuti, and ask which one is better. You go to do your reading and say, please let me know the advisability of burning it after the first meditation. Or please let me know the advisability of meditating for a week until the objective is realized. Magic is very personalized. It's very personalized. What works for me will not work for another magi. There's no one size fits all. We have tried this throughout the centuries to come up with one spell that when you recite it, it just works. It doesn't work that way. You know why? Because we're dealing with the energetic field, the electromagnetic field. And that electromagnetic field is dynamic. It's interactive. So it responds to the observer. And what is the observer? The observer is you, who harbors different belief systems. And depending on your belief system, you could be a very powerful magi. Because if you're more right brain and you're in tune with your emotions, such as a Pisces, then whatever it is you think of instantly manifests. But if you're more left brain and more critical thinking, then it's going to be a challenge for you to manifest things right away. You still can manifest because you're God man, God woman, but it will be a challenge to do so. All right. So this is why there's no one size fits all. Not everything works for everybody. And unfortunately, the nincompoops that we call, let me not label and define them, but Western man and Western woman, when they try to apply modern science to metaphysical magic, and as you know, modern science is a way of conducting an experiment and having the results repeated time and time again, which validates what it is. They were unable to have the results manifest on a consistent basis, so therefore they label it as not working or not a legitimate science. But you have to understand, when you're dealing with the etheric realm or with the metaphysical realm, that things don't always repeat themselves in the exact same way, because the modern scientists are using Cartesian logic, and that's the correspondence of the one-to-one relationship, and that is left brain. So when you start dealing with right brain, non-linear, it's not apples to apples. Okay, you're not going to get the same results every time. And the reason being is because you are ever changing. As the book of the I-Ching says, you are the way. And the way has no definitive paradigm to follow. See, because left brain needs a paradigm to operate from. It needs a book of laws. It needs a book of instructions. But the right brain is intuitive. It's free-flowing. It does not go by a set of laws or a paradigm. This is why the ancient archaeologists and historians, when they went to research the great sages, their civilization such as the Chinese dynasties, the Mayan cultures, the Indian culture, the African cultures. They could not find book of laws or book of science. For one thing, it was all integrated into one theology or one philosophy. We did not separate the disciplines. We didn't have something called science, art, math. It was all merged into one. And we didn't keep meticulous records of things written down. We kept those in the psychic gateways of the mind. So to access it, your sage, your master teacher would give you a mantra or a cow for you to access the psychic gateway to get that information. So these things were not just written down, nor were they taught orally. Because, some people think that in African culture, everything was just handed down by traditions through the oral tradition. That's not true. We knew about the Akashic records, and that everything was kept in the 0-point energy field, which we call today quantum entanglement, or the Akashic records. So this is the science here. This is the ritual. It's a quick ritual that you can do to manifest something fairly quickly in your life. And remember, if you're not seeing the results that you want, tweak it a bit, change it a bit. Everything is subject to change because it's an art. Bruce Lee became the master that he was because he understood that it wasn't about following tradition blindly, but it was becoming intuitive, being water, flowing, changing, and doing what works for you, what's comfortable for you. It is when you get into rigidity and adhering to dogma, whether it be religious or scientific, that we stop making progress. Nikola Tesla, one of the greatest inventors next to Imhotep, said that the minute that science starts studying the metaphysical and vibrational frequencies is the minute that we will take a giant leap in our progress. It is only now do you find that many so-called quantum physicists are becoming very spiritual in their outlook on life, because they are now going into the quantum level, which is really the etheric or spiritual level, to understand what really controls us and who we really are, which is photonic energy, light energy. We are nothing more than avatars. We're a light matrix, a holographic matrix. And according to one of the principles of Hermes Trismegistus, or Thoth, the law of correspondence. So one of the things you can do that is very effective, let's say, for example, if you want to attract money or come into a windfall of money, is to place some money on top of the card in addition to all the other tools that you'll have here. And again, according to Hermes, the law of correspondences, that mere act of placing money here electrifies the etheric realm, where you have an astral version of money that exists. And if you can control that reality template, you will control the physical. Okay? In other words, this is why in the practice of voodoo, they create a voodoo doll. You ever see the Hollywood movies where they put pins in the dolls and the person who's the object of their hatred starts to feel pain? That is the Hermetic law of correspondence. So you understand that what that individual is merely another aspect in the etheric realm, and that you don't need to directly affect that physical person, that physical body. You can access that person through the metaphysical etheric realm to either induce pain or healing. This is why individuals are able to heal from a long distance. Something our scientists now are starting to realize. through thought energy, thought vibrations. Okay? So I wanted to dive a little bit deeper so you understand the mechanics of how magic works behind the scenes, so you can understand and have a basis to operate from, and it becomes more believable to you, because belief is a big component to all of this, having it operate and having it work. All right? So any remaining questions in the chat rooms from my Magi's? Okay, I already talked about the store. Yes, you can. And money is, I also detailed a very powerful technique for changing physical objects into money, which is kind of similar to manifestation, but you alter its subatomic makeup so that a piece of paper suddenly becomes a dollar bill. That's a very easy thing to do. The trickier part is to manifest a lot of the money. All right, so that becomes a little bit dicey, but the core to making all of this work, as I alluded to in previous videos, is that you have to understand that you're dealing with Maya. I'm not talking about the singer Maya, even though she's cute. That everything is an illusion, it's not real, and from that basis you can then manipulate everything, because you understand that everything is subject to change since it's not real. But remember, my beloveds, always operate from the basis of peace. That is how your magic will become potent if you are at peace and at rest. Therefore, you are not compelled emotionally toward any one thing, you know. And the goddess who governs magic and the occult is Sekert. She controls the 72 Hakao, words of power, that can do wonders in this physical world. All right, and our goal is to reach her level, and she would be akin to Ptah. Ptah is the craftsman. He's the creator. You know, so keep those things in mind, and of course, you can increase the power by using mantras in your meditations and things of that nature. There's mantra for attracting money, love, and what have you. But again, mantras work based on your permission slip, and all this works based on your permission slip, which means that it's just merely an extension. It's merely a tool to allow you to believe that your power can work. So with that said, I hope that this will help you to manifest the things in your life, and I'm going to do more videos on this to help all of you Magi's out, because it is my sincere goal is that you have a healthy, wealthy, and prosperous life. And in order to do that, you must get to a level where life ceases to kick your ass, and you start to assume the throne of your kingship or your queenship, and you are the one that's the driving force in this reality. You are the ones that are controlling things, so you're in the driver's seat. Because I've told you my personal story. I've gone through a long time in my life getting my butt kicked. And it wasn't until I discovered magic that it changed everything. That I was finally able to take some measure of control in my life and to have some peace and some joy. Because remember, from peace comes joy. If you don't have peace, then the joy you have is fleeting. It's here today, gone tomorrow, and it's contingent upon external things. You want your joy to come from within, because remember, joy is in the journey and not the destination. Because many individuals who have become successful in life has done so at extreme cost, and when they have reached that level in their life, they realize that they're still not happy. Still not happy. And one of my favorite characters of all, one is Captain James T. Kirk, James Tiberius Kirk, and the other is Gordon Gekko from the movie Wall Street, because he exemplifies greed, and he says greed is good because he has a hole that can never be filled. He's empty inside. He has not learned to master himself. He has mastered making money. He is a wizard in that sense, but it's a hole that can never be filled. So he has not found inner peace to complement the money. And what I'm saying to you is go for the inner peace, because within the inner peace is a power that nothing can disturb. And with that peace, you will manifest wonders in your life. My life is freaking crazy because from the time I get up in the morning to the time I go to sleep, all kinds of magical things are happening, whether it's consistent synchronicities, spirits visiting me, ancestors communicating to me through people that they possess. And it's sometimes disturbing, but it lets me know I'm on the right track, and it's wonderful. And I understand that you can't have the good without the bad. And even when things seem dark, you only understand that it's dark because there's the light at the end of the tunnel. So I want to thank you, Magi's. And if you get an opportunity, please consider donating through PayPal. The link is in the description box. Your donations would be highly appreciated. And, you know, keep practicing, keep learning, master this game called life. This is Kasama Keperu, son of Ma'at and Tehuti. Ma'at is the beautiful Het-Heru, Hathor. Until my next broadcast, Amin Ra.